G'day YouTube. We've got the king of the picking family here. He's going to talk us through a bit of the start of the channel, the Genesis, if you will be,
straight from the Bible,
and a bit of a thankful video to all the subscribers.
Yeah,
and a way to get to know him a bit better.
Yeah, a bit of the history and stuff like that. So where would you like to start, Dan?
So yeah, I know you've always had this idea to do a YouTube channel, and you have a passion for picking and
yeah, I love the things people throw away. Freaks me out. The amount of wastage we have just freaks me out. The stuff's just, well, you've seen it yourself. Some of the stuff we picked up, like brand new things thrown out, and yeah, and they use a compactor, to crush it all. So if we don't, well, if people don't, not just me, but if other people don't, well, it's just landfill. Such wastage. It's a throwaway society. And you get these people, and I get it, like, if you've got a husband and wife couple both working their ass off, and that's why Brisbane, inner city Brisbane suburbs, I mean, you can't buy a house in there for under $1 million. So to be able to afford that and pay that mortgage off for that sort of thing, you need two people working. They're probably working 50 hours a week, and for them to sell something for $200, it just isn't worth the time for them. And they don't want people coming to their house because, let's face it, people don't like other people. So, for the most part, we all like to study from a distance. But how it started was probably Jenny with the YouTube channel. If you go back to some of the early ones that I'll put up at some stage, Jenny was into Shopkins. And she started watching the Shopkins videos, well, this is probably 10 years ago, 8 to 10 years ago. And we did a couple of videos then, right here actually, and if you're swinging around that Aboriginal painting on the wall over there, just show them that video on the wall over there. So in the videos, that was on this wall here, and we had the camera set up like what Dan is now, where we were videoing these Shopkins, and Jenny was explaining all the Shopkins and stuff. I just put up the videos of Jen's graduation. She's finally let me put some up, but her formal one's going to go up after this. Yeah, that was probably 8 years ago.
Wow.
That we were doing that, and she just got bored of it. I think we probably did 4 or 5 videos, and thought that what happened was she saw this other kid that was getting all these toys because she had so many subscribers on the Shopkins. She thought, Dad, let's do this. And we did a video back then at the markets of us showing like buying Shopkins cheap and the difference. That's why she was such a good kid to bring up, in the sense that we used to go to Kmart on a Thursday night, and she didn't want to buy the stuff there because she knew that if we went to the market on the Sunday, we'd get a big bag for the same $10 or $12 that was the Monster High doll at the time. So it was a Monster High phase that she went through back then. Unfortunately, we had a house fire here on my shed, and we lost all of her Little's Pet Shops. So Little's Pet Shop, Shopkins, and Monster High all got burnt. So that was pretty sad. But me and Jenny, I've had Jenny since she was 6 months old. A little baby like that.
By yourself, yeah?
By myself, yeah, that's right. The mother, for no fault of her own, really, she's just bad circumstances and stuff, had a bit of a habit, and was incapable of doing it, and hasn't been in her life really at all, which is a pity for her. Jen's got like 8 siblings, and it's like she's brought up as an only child, so it's kind of weird, but we've done all right. She just graduated year 12, and she's going to go study law next year, so that's pretty good. I'm pretty proud of her. Jenny's part Indigenous, or First Australians. Aboriginal is what they used to be called here, Australian First Peoples. And Jenny is also the only Aboriginal child at her school, or Indigenous child, First Australian at her school, to do ATAR, which allows her to go to university. So I'm pretty proud of that too. But back to the Picking family. So how that really started was Dan. He's got the camera, to be honest. We'd met Scooby a couple of times. I've been selling at the markets on and off forever, since I got here. And I've been in Queensland for 25 years. I'm from Adelaide originally. I was born in England. Came out here as a 2-year-old with my parents, and they were 10-pound poms. So on a boat, 4 weeks, landed in Western Australia, and we drove across to Adelaide. We're in what do they call that when you're you're all housed together before you put somewhere. Like Manus Island, except it wasn't. It was, what's that called? Like refugee camp sort of thing. We weren't refugees though. We were invited out and paid for by the government. Like, as I said, £10 for 4-week cruise for mum and dad. It was pretty awesome. And Adelaide most of our life, so I've had second-hand stores. Started doing my dad was a made lounge suites. Furniture manufacturer. Made new lounges. DMAC Furniture. Concordia Furniture. They were the name. Clark and Thompson was his first one. He bought the company off of these people called Clark and Thompson. Concord Furniture, when the Concord was about. So, you know. I had my first second-hand store at the market when I was 12. I remember my mum dropping me off in a Bluebird wagon. I'd sell me wares. She'd have to come pick me up in the afternoon. I had my first second-hand store at 16. And my mum had to have the second-hand dealer's license in her name because you had to be 18. And in South Australia, to get a second-hand dealer's license back there was a lot to do. You had to go to court and actually know some of the act. And mum was asked questions, and it's a bit different now. Everything's online now. So I moved up here, I said 25 years ago, chasing my first daughter, Erin, whose mum run off here with her, and then she moved back to Adelaide with her anyway. So it's another story. And then about 18 years ago, I got told that I might be the father of this beautiful little girl who wasn't even born then. So I didn't even know that the mother was pregnant, so she was about 6 months pregnant. And then Jen was born, and I was seeing her just for a little bit of time to start with because there was no DNA results back as me, the father. Like, they have a place here in Australia called DOCS, Department of Child Safety. And they contacted me and said, you might be the father of this child. Tammy, the mum's put her name up as you might be the father. Are you interested in adopting? Or not adopting, but taking her on. And I was like, whoa, okay. I was in shock, to be honest. I said, absolutely. Otherwise, Jen would end up in foster care, and we didn't really want that. Nobody wants that if you can stop that. So then we waited. Jen was born. I started seeing her from when she was born, and a carer would meet up and stuff. And I was feeding her from probably 14 days old. My mum was breastfeeding, apparently still in the bottle. Not that I got to see the mother, it was carers, and they'd come. We'd meet at a public place to start with, and then we would eventually she'd come here, and I was assessed up and down the coast, as you can imagine, handing his baby over to a single dad, and got through all that, and it probably took about 6 months. So she was 1st of July, and about Christmas, I think we just after Christmas, I think she still had that Christmas with Lorraine, who was the carer of Jenny. She also had one of Tammy's other kids, Nicholas, at the time too, and brought him up. So at least I knew if I wasn't. So yeah, so I've had her for 18 years, and it's been me and her, and without her I'd probably be dead or in jail, to be honest with you, buddy. So, anyway, we'll get back to the Picken family. I'm just rambling a bit then. So get back to the Picken family. Dan, I sort of met. Yeah, I don't know when we actually met. It was at the markets, I guess. Probably, yeah. Because I have a permanent market stall down there. Well, I say permanent.
Salvation Army, maybe it was.
Yeah, Salvation Army, yeah. I was volunteer at Salvation Army as well. Which that's why I drop off stuff to them still now. Because I know what I can drop off. You get so much rubbish there, Dan, it's just ridiculous. They charge them to dump, it's ridiculous too, government. They're saving you so much money. So then, Scooby come part of it through you too, Dan, if I remember rightly. Me and you were out garage selling like 15 miles, 25 k's from here, and he's on his push bike. You know, he just used to ride his push bike around to garage sales. That's the ADHD, you know, with Scooby. It's his thing. We're all on the spectrum, all of us in some way. My dad was bipolar, my granddad was bipolar, so we've all struggled. That's why we all get along so well, because we understand each other. So how the actual channel started, though, was again Dan, because Dan really wanted to produce some videos with me doing this, and I wanted to keep control, so I'm like, no. So we made a bet. If I hadn't had a video up, I think this was like on the Wednesday or something, if I didn't have the video up by the Sunday, he was going to have, 7 or 9?
Yeah, one season deal.
One season deal.
Where I could order him around and film.
Yeah. So I had to bung that one up. So if you go back to our original ones, that was the start of it all. And then just grew from there. It took us a while to come up with the Picking family name, and we don't edit, so whatever shit I say on here is what you're going to watch.
Slowly learning some things about thumbnails, aren't you?
I'm slowly
getting better.
I'm just so busy. You can imagine I'm trying to create wealth to keep the family, alive and paying the bills and living and all that sort of stuff. Keep a roof over the head, keep food in the stomach. Jen's graduation is she's also just got Tay-Tay tickets. So for February 20... When's your concert, Jen? 26, she's probably on Roblox right now. What date's your concert? 26th of February. So, which is also the first day she goes to uni. So that's in Sydney, and we've got to get her there. And I want her to have her own adventure there, so we're going to make sure she does that. We may go down there in the road train, but not with her. We'll just go down and make a video or something like that. Back to the channel. It's gone from there. It's coming up with the names, and I love curbsiding. That's my passion. That you get out there on the streets and the stuff that you find.
Yeah, you definitely love the curb, man.
I love the curb. We are the curb. We say that when we're out hunting. The stuff's fantastic. We've had a few negative comments too on that,
How do you deal with that when people see you going through trash and dealing with what people think being a scumbag or whatever?
Yeah, I agree.
Like you said, it's recycling.
Well, that's why I look at it. Like, if the council were taking it to sell or to some sort of, they're not just burying it. So they use what's called a compactor to pick it up. So the truck pulls up, they throw it in, and they squash it. All gets squashed. Everything gets squashed and put in the ground. So anything I take or any of us take is actually saving the environment. That's right. And the stuff's great. We're a throwaway society. Like, people change things because, like, rugs are really good. So it's an easiest way to change the look of your house. And there's going to be nothing wrong with the rugs. They might just decide they don't like green, they want orange. So they'll throw out 4 green good rugs. That's a prime example. Small things like that. And as I said before, they don't want to sell them. Also, there's a thing what I call pile etiquette. So you can get these people, a lot of this curbsiding, for example, stopped on the Sunshine Coast because these 2 big 6'4" fellas were fighting over a 9-foot Malibu surfboard. So the big men just punching on because this guy wanted it, and so I have a rule that if somebody else is at a pile, I won't stop. I'll go around the block or 2 blocks and come back and see whatever's left. Most don't do that, but that's the way. It stops confrontation, and you don't want confrontation. There's enough for everybody. That's why I put it out there. Some people out there, the pickers, don't like the fact that I'm showing that it's out there in real time. So I might pick on the Monday and I put that video up on Monday night. So somebody doesn't know could go, well, hang on, that's only 2 suburbs away. And they go, look, so what? You've got to be dedicated. It's hard work. So don't think that it's easy because Dan knows we could be out there and it's hot. It's bloody hot. It's Queensland summers are hot, muggy. You're going in between the rain. So right now there's no curbside. During the school holiday period, they don't do curbside. So it starts up again, I think on the 14th of January or 16th, that weekend. So we've got a month off of curbside, so we're looking for fillers. Hence me talking now. Any more questions anyone asked him? No. How many minutes we got on that now?
13.
So we'll probably do another one. Dan wants to ask me some other questions. What do we write on our list there to talk about? That's about it, isn't it? So it's any questions you've got, just send them through to the channel. We're in the midst of trying to set up a Facebook page as well. Trying to make this thing grow. It's got to pay for me because there's no other support, so that's what we're doing. And start doing more eBay. We're going to do a shop, but they want so much information. They want taxes and for the last 3 years, and I haven't got that. I've just been, working on cash and poor. We're poor. But we're in Australia. Only 0.3% of the world's population live in Australia. So I'm rich. Even the homeless in our country are rich compared to other countries. As I say, we can drink our toilet water where 85% of the world haven't even got water to drink. So you think about that, and then you know where your real worth is. And you can be rich in Australia and not know it and think you're poor and think you're doing it bad. But you're not. Things are going well. All right, luscious all, and I'm going to go put up Jen's graduation one now, or the formal or whatever, and this will be up shortly. Luscious, bye.